This is how to mix vocals in FL Studio. So I'm gonna do this in two parts. First part is more natural, like some just singy, natural type vocals. And the second one will be like the bladee, 2hollis, autotune, distortion, like crazy effects type of vocals. For natural vocals, I've got this song by my friend Kid Kino. I'll put his link somewhere, and it sounds like this.
Losing myself, I don't need no one's help.
So first, we're gonna start with this main layer. So here's the raw.
Losing myself, I don't need no one's help. Losing myself, flying through the unknown.
So he's a great singer, which gives me a lot to work with. This recording, if I were to do it again, I'd reduce the noise quite a bit. When I was engineering it, I just never noticed that amount of noise in the takes. So I do that again differently. Other than that, it's a great input and a great place to start. So first is Melodyne, and everyone talks about pop artists. Oh, they use autotune. This person uses autotune. Like talking about singers, and they're not using like autotune artists and stuff like that. They're using this, because with this, instead of it picking the note for you, you pick the note. So like, it's not gonna sound good, but if I wanted to make one of these notes like up here, and then now this note, and yeah, it does not sound good. So anyway, so with this, all I did, like if I restore the pitch, all I did was just double click it to snap it to the grid, and then
Losing myself,
that's with the Melodyne, and then I take it off.
losing myself, losing myself.
And it's like, you can't hear that it's doing anything. It just takes a vocal that's close and makes it perfect. And I just went through some of them. I'll reduce some slides or change a note or two, but you can kind of see like the shape of the melody that he drew in, and I tried to keep it as true to that shape as I could. So that's all for the Melodyne. With this, the other thing is you don't want to go too crazy with it. Like, you don't want to be going 3 scale notes past like the note that it came into Melodyne at. Because if you try to pull it up, here's up 3 notes.
Losing myself,
You hear all the artifacts?
losing myself,
It just sounds terrible.
losing myself,
But then you put it back where it came from,
losing myself.
and it sounds fine. So next is compression, and for this I'm just using the Waves SSL comp, and there's a good analogy for compressors. If you already know about compressors, you can probably skip ahead a bit, but think of it as you as a kid in the back seat and your mom's driving, and you keep turning up the music just a little bit, and the threshold is the level that makes your mom grab the knob and turn it down. The attack is how quickly she does it. The release is how long it takes for you to put it back where it was, and the ratio is how much it gets turned down. So for this, I have the threshold pretty high, because if you look at the like actual recording, nothing is really like poking out a lot louder than anything else. It doesn't really need like that crazy of a compression. So I've just got a high attack or medium attack, slow release, ratio in the middle, and this is just lightly kissing the top of it. If you watch the meter while it's going,
Losing myself. I don't need no one's help.
it's just giving it a little kiss on the forehead. Vocal rider, just doing what it does. I've just got a tiny smidge of room reverb.
Losing myself. I don't need no one's help.
And I've got the ozone dynamic EQ, just cutting the lows and adding a little bit of presence at the like 2 to 4K range. And then I've just got an imager on focus vocals just to make sure the vocals are right there in the middle.
Losing myself. I don't need no.
So that's the whole vocal chain for the main vocals. I then have them routed to a delay with a long time and a really like steep cutoff,
Losing myself.
and that just kind of goes on in the background. Then next I've got a bit more room reverb.
Losing myself.
I've got the super long, super thin vintage verb shimmer combo that just kind of constantly drones in the background.
Losing myself. I don't need no one's help.
And then on the bus, since this is a like 4 on the floor dance type of thing, I just sidechained with kickstart a little bit of the vocal. I've just got it turned up a bit, and that just gives it like a very slight pulse.
Losing myself. I don't need no one's help.
And then I've got this vintage verb, which I have automated to come in at certain points in between the vocals.
Losing myself. I don't.
And that just gives a nicer transition in the pauses. So then all the vocals without the beat sound like this.
Losing myself. I don't need no one's help.
And for this, all of these vocal chains are the exact same thing, copy pasted, with some plugins muted, some plugins tweaked. Just went through and made each vocal have like its own sound while still being cohesive with everything else because they have the same effects. So that is all for the natural vocals. So this is autotune vocals.
I'm beyond fear, 16 G's of my body. In the high baby, spinning me around, baby.
So first, we'll just talk about these main vocals. First thing in the chain is a noise gate. It's just you and I, baby, we'll stick around. That just cuts the noise in between the vocals. Then we've got waves tune, 0 speed, make sure it's in the right key. It's just you and I, baby, we'll stick around, crazy, you don't stick around, lazy. We gon' be beyond ready. Then next, just our comp on a vocal preset. It's just you and I, baby, we'll stick. And I like to put my compressor after my tune so that it's like compressing the note like transition. It gives it artifacts, and I want to compress the artifacts into the vocal. Ozone dynamic EQ low cutting. It's just you and I, baby. Then I've got decapitator on classic rock. It's just you and I, baby. We'll stick around. I've got a flanger to add some stereo width and like soften up that distortion. It's just you and I, baby. We'll stick around. And then I've just got another low cut with the parametric EQ.
Yes, it's you, baby. We'll stick around,
And then all of the sauce is on the bus. So first is this Valhalla Supermassive, which I have the mix automated on.
Yes, it's you, baby. We'll stick around, crazy. You can stick around, lazy. We gon' be beyond ready.
Then next, I just got this Ozone on vintage vocals.
Yes, it's you, baby. We'll stick.
And then some fresh air with a lot of mid just to thicken it up a bit.
Yes, it's you, baby. We'll stick around.
And then another EQ cleaning up more of the sub.
Yes, it's you, baby. We'll stick around.
And something that specifically 2hollis does, but a lot of these like newer artists that are like just starting to mix, is they'll always cut this low fundamental.
Yes, it's you, baby.
Which if I bring this back,
Yes, it's you, baby.
cut it.
Yes, it's you, baby.
And then next I've just got Soothe on safe vocal, just kind of taking out some harsher frequencies.
Yes, it's you, baby. We'll stick around, crazy. You can stick around.
I've just got this final EQ just to check the levels and all that. And I've got it routed to a simple ping pong delay.
Yes, it's you, baby.
And I've got some vintage verb with a lot of low cut and a good bit of decay.
Yes, it's you, baby. We'll stick around, crazy.
That's it.
Yes, it's you, baby. We'll stick around, crazy. You can stick around, lazy. We gon' be beyond ready. I'm beyond fit. 16 G's in my blood. In the high, baby. Spinning me around, baby. I'm sorry, I'm